AI and automation are simplifying a lot of things because a lot of things that we did manually, from campaign structures to keyword targeting, bidding, are now done automatically by the system.
Yeah.
And Google systems have become really great at this outside of Google Ads. And that's where you will find the outsized opportunities. Like, for example, helping your clients create better offers, conversion optimized landing pages, stuff like that. The most important starting point is understanding that in-platform data that you see in Google Ads, Meta Ads, etc., is usually just not correct.
Great event. Thank you very much for organizing it. It was really great. Great talks. Nicholas was amazing. He's next. Exactly. And also some great case studies. So you picked really well. And you talked about, in your part, you talked about all of the AI and everything that is shifting and how we as PPC managers maybe have to change. But in general speaking, what do you think is, with Google Ads, is the most important thing in these times of AI?
Yeah, I got it. So I think AI and automation are simplifying a lot of things because a lot of things that we used to do manually, and I also showed this in my presentation, a lot of things that we did manually, from campaign structures to keyword targeting, bidding, are now done automatically by the system.
Yeah.
And Google systems have become really great at this. In the beginning it was maybe not so much, but as years progressed and Google started to develop their programs better, you could really see that the performance that you got was better with the automated solutions in most cases. So I think because of that, a lot of things are simplified campaign structures. Ad creative is being written by Google in certain instances. Bids are placed automatically. So that means, I think, that there's a lot less that you can control inside of Google Ads yourself, which means that the time that you spend inside of Google Ads, this is how Bob framed it, I think was a great line from him. The return on effort on in-platform optimizations, that is decreasing. So meaning your time spent optimizing things inside the ad accounts is not always the best thing to do in terms of if you want to drive results for your clients. That doesn't mean you should skip out on those things, but because it is simplified, there's just less and less that you can tweak inside of the account. So that needs to be set up perfectly, like 10 out of 10 for sure, 100%. But now on top of that, because of all the simplification that AI and automation are bringing, I think there's a big opportunity for specialists who break free from the Google Ads tunnel vision, which was sort of the premise of my talk, by looking beyond just what can I do inside of Google Ads, but looking at how can I help my clients grow holistically, meaning across the board, so that they come to you as a growth partner and not just, hey, Volkan, I need you to run my Google Ads. That's usually the starting point, that's one. But then developing other skills so that you can spot other opportunities and bottlenecks to take your client to the next level outside of just Google Ads. And I think that's where we are headed, because Google is automating more and more and more with AI, which means that the edge is disappearing inside of Google Ads. Yeah. Which then means, like, how do I spend my time? Yeah. You could go on and continue to tweak everything inside the ad account, but that's not usually the most ROI on your time. You can start looking outside of Google Ads, and that's where you will find the outsized opportunities. Like, for example, helping your clients create better offers, conversion optimized landing pages, stuff like that. So I think if you look at the future, specialists will, I call this, has to become more T-shaped with a deep specialization in Google Ads and broad skills on top of that, so that you have a unique skill set that cannot be competed against, because you are unique in your skills. You have deep knowledge of Google Ads. And then for me, for example, I like direct response copywriting, a little bit of positioning. I sprinkle those things on top of my deep Google Ads skill set. And for you, it might be, your background in sales or other things that make you unique as a specialist. So moving forward, I think we're going to see many more Google Ads specialists who just have a unique skill set. Instead of only just, I do Google Ads and that's it.
Yeah, I like the one where you said, like, you have to recognize that Google is just one piece of the puzzle. It's not the whole puzzle. So you have to recognize that Google can only do so much, but be able to know which puzzle pieces will make the whole picture.
Yeah, exactly. And there's obviously so much that you can still do inside of Google Ads, but it also depends if you're trying to generate demand, if you're trying to capture demand. Totally different game. But there's always there's always demand to capture, so that doesn't mean that you shouldn't focus on doing the things inside of Google Ads. But there's so much more connected to it that a lot of specialists kind of forget. And that's why I mentioned the quote from Kirk Williams, which I like from his book, Ponderings of a PPC Professional, where he said that PPC is not marketing. PPC is part of advertising, which is part of marketing. Yeah. And that is, for me, that really captured the essence of why we shouldn't be stuck in only doing Google Ads. Because a lot of people think that, I'm doing marketing because I'm doing Google Ads for you. But that is just a small piece of it. Yeah.
So you kind of answered my next question, like how can we make sure to drive real business results with Google Ads in these times? But maybe if you would, one final advice in maybe 1 or 2 sentences. Yeah. So what do you think should we consider in Google Ads going forward from now on that really drives results, like profit?
Yeah. I think one thing, and this is maybe also for your second question that we're kind of leapfrogging over because I already answered it. I think one part of it is understanding how to look at data holistically across channels for the entire business. Yes. That's what we had great talks about today, also from Michael, who dove into why it's so important to look, for him, in his case, look at contribution margin or gross profit, all kinds of other metrics than just what do I see in Google Ads. We had great sessions from other speakers, Michael, for example, who dove into why he uses contribution margin as this sort of holy grail in terms of metrics and data. And whatever you use, like the gross profit margin, LTV, contribution margin, there's different things that you can look at. But I think the most important starting point is understanding that in-platform data that you see in Google Ads, Meta Ads, etc., is usually just not correct because they over-attribute to themselves.
Exactly.
So then if you take that as your starting point, it becomes clear where the opportunities and the bottlenecks are. And then I think personally, one area that a lot of businesses are lacking in is just landing page optimization. Yeah. Making sure that you turn more browsers into customers. Yeah. That's a really low hanging fruit for me because especially in e-com, most brands are just way underperforming on conversion rates. Yeah.